Welcome back to my channel, guys. I hope you people are getting benefits. There are so many students who are struggling with follow-ups, and it's my responsibility to help them. I will try to make follow-up videos for almost all the cue cards, especially for the first 30 cue cards, and it is going to be a totally elaborative video. This is going to be a series in which I will just select 5 cue cards, and then I will answer the follow-up questions, and I will give you so many tips and tricks. My cue cards that I'm currently providing you do not contain any sort of follow-ups. They just contain cue cards. But for follow-ups, I think that I need to explain a bit more. I need to give you live answers so that you can understand. That's why I did not include this in my cue cards. Also, it takes a lot of time to write all of them. Okay, so let's start with the very first one. What qualities does a person need to have to take care of old people? I don't think so. There are some special qualities that a person needs to have. I think the willingness to help the elder ones is more than sufficient. But still, I would say that there are some certain traits that a person must have, otherwise he would not be able to help the elder ones. Again, we are going to use a particular structure. We are going to explain it in a structured way. The very first quality is that the person must be a good listener. Sometimes elder people are unable to make us understand what they are trying to say. So at that time we need to have some qualities so that we can understand them. And sometimes we are unable to understand their questions. So at that time we should not be showing any sort of aggressive behavior. We should be very calm at that time. Because what I believe is that they are also like children and they also need to be treated like children. We do not just show aggressive behavior in front of the younger ones or in front of children. So at that time it's our responsibility to be calm as much as possible. We should not be showing any sort of aggressive nature. Okay, do you think elder people should be taken care at home? I definitely believe that they should be taken care at home. When we were really young, when we were a child, when we were unable to walk, when we did not have the potential to do certain things, at that time our parents, our elder ones really helped us to do it. So now it's our responsibility because again, as I just mentioned, that there is no difference between a child and an elder person. They need to be taken care like children, and I think it should be definitely happening at home. How can people in the neighborhood help the elderly during an epidemic? If people in neighborhoods are willing to help the elder ones, I think there is a lot that can be done for them. And it's not like that we are going to need some special things to help them. To help the elder ones, the only thing and the best thing that we can do is we can just sit with them, we can just have a conversation with them. They usually are a victim of isolation. They feel alone, isolated, and sometimes they just can become a victim of depression also. Sometimes their family members are not at home, and during the period of any sort of epidemic, we can just have a conversation with them. We can just talk with them, we can ask them, do you need something? Whether there is something that I can do for you or not. We can provide you food, we can just have a conversation with you. So these are the very simple things that we can do for the elder ones. I think people in neighborhood should definitely be doing that, especially if their family members are not at home. So now the next question is, do you see this kind of help occurring in your neighborhoods? Sadly, I've never seen this type of help occurring in my neighborhood. People are just concerned about themselves only. They are not concerned about people. It's not only about elder people. It's not like that they are not taking care of elderly people in their neighborhood. They are not concerned about people in general. So they are just only concerned about their own family members and about themselves only. So that's what I would say about this. Moving to second cue card now. So describe a risk you have taken. Okay, not this one. Okay, and had a positive result. Okay. The second cue card, now we are going to start with the follow-ups. Why do some people enjoy extreme sports? I would say maybe this is because of biological reasons. Whenever people do any sort of extreme activity in which people have to perform certain actions, or maybe people have achieved something that is really extraordinary. So in these type of situations, when anything or in any case extreme is involved, people just have some sort of biological reactions that really help them to feel better. And I think this can be said or applied in this case also, and that is the reason why there are so many people who are interested in extreme activities. Are action films popular in your country? I would definitely say they are highly popular in my country. There are so many people that are in my circle who are just willing to watch action movies. They are not concerned about the story, they are just concerned about the actions, about the destruction that is going on in the movie. So this genre of movie is highly popular. Do you think it is a good thing if a leader likes to take risk? I think the only thing that makes or that differentiates a normal person from a leader is the willingness to take a risk. A real leader is the one who is willing to take risks, who definitely knows that if he does this, there are some certain positives he would be able to achieve. But also he knows that there are some negatives he would attract if he fails to achieve that. So I am definitely sure about this. So it's like that I have a mixed opinion about this, but I would still say that I would side with the opinion that they should be willing to take risks. Do you think men and women will make a different choice about risk taking? I don't think so that gender has anything to do with decision making. It's about the potential of a person, it's about the experience of a person. If a person is experienced enough in a certain field, he would be willing to take risks. It's not about that whether the person who is taking the risk is a male or a female. It's more about the experience, more about the potential, and the most important thing is it's all about the willingness. I've seen so many times when men were able to make better decisions, and I've also seen multiple times when women's decisions were way better than decision taken by men. Okay, what about the young and old? Well, I can say is that in case of elder ones, they have just lived their whole life and there's nothing for them to achieve. You know, the most important thing to take a risk is the willingness to achieve something. When there is nothing left to achieve something, then I would not think that they would have the willpower to take risks. But in case of the young ones or about those people who are fairly young, they still have a lot to achieve. There are so many things that they are willing to do and achieve. And for them, this is really motivational. This is the driving force for them. And I'm sure that in this way, they would be just willing to take as many risks as possible. So it really depends that the age factor really matters in this case. Elder people have achieved certain things or majority of the things in their life, but youngsters still have a long journey to cover. So now we are moving to third cue card. So this is describe a mistake you have made. What can we learn from our mistakes? I think the best thing about mistakes is that there are so many life lessons that we are able to learn. The very first thing is that we get to know that we were not really prepared about that stuff. We get to know that what our flaws are. So what are the things that can be done or what we could have done differently. So this is the best part. We get to know about our flaws. We get to know what areas we need to work on. What I believe is that if we are doing mistakes, that means we are learning something new. Because if we stop making mistakes, it means that we have just stuck, we have just plateaued. So in order to break our plateau is something like we have stuck somewhere. Okay, so we definitely need to make mistakes. It's not like that we should be making them willy-nilly. So it's like that we need to try something new, and if we make mistakes, we need to just overcome these type of mistakes and become better in this. Okay, now, do children make mistakes easily? What I believe is that when we are not familiar with the fundamentals or concepts of something new, at that time we make mistakes. And I think this is perfectly applicable in case of children. It is inevitable for children to make mistakes because the beauty of children is that they always try to learn something new. And when they do it, they usually make mistakes, and in this way they are able to grow themselves. What should parents do if their children make mistakes? I think this is the perfect opportunity for parents to teach their children that how things could have been done differently. They could just tell them that rather than making mistakes, next time what you can do is you need to think about the possible positives and negatives. You need to think about what the flaws could be in the future. So I think they should be taking this as a responsibility to teach them. And when children make any sort of mistake, this is the time when parents should be taking actions to teach about this to their children. How do children benefit from using dictionaries? Well, dictionaries are really important for almost everyone, especially for those people who are willing to learn something new. And this can be said about children. So children usually are not aware about many vocabulary related words. There are so many things that they do not know the meaning of. And with the help of a dictionary, They can just find the word that they are looking forward to. They can just find the meanings, or maybe they can use these type of words in their academic and can do better. As well as it is also a great way for them to improve their vocabulary, to improve their communication skills. And everyone knows that communication skills are really important, so dictionary can be very useful in this scenario. Now we are moving to fourth cue card. Describe a volunteering experience you have had. What qualities are required for a volunteer? I don't think so. There are some special qualities required. The only quality required for a person to do any sort of volunteer work is the willingness to help others. If we have the will to help others, we will just find ways. It's not like that we need to develop some qualities. But still, I can say that the person must be doing selfless acts. He should not be like that. I need to get something in return, or I would be appreciated by others. Or he should not be like that. Other people would say that this person is a very good man or a very good woman. So he should be doing selfless acts. So this is the only quality that a person must have in order to do any sort of volunteer work. Second, what type of personality does a volunteer has? What type of personality? What I can say about this is that these type of people definitely have really positive vibrations. It can be seen on their face. They're really positive type of people. They are just willing to help other people whenever they get the opportunity to. They are the very first one to take actions when someone needs help. So this is the kind of personality, a very kind-hearted person, very humble. So basically related to positive vibes. So this is a quality that a person who wants to do volunteer work possesses. How can companies engaging in volunteering help our society? The main reason why these type of companies can do some great works is they usually get a lot of funds. So many people are willing to help others, and they usually give their money or whatever they have to these type of organizations. And what these organizations can do is they can just do whatever they want to. If there are some children who need help in case of education, they can provide them free education. Maybe they can provide them books or notebooks so that they can utilize this for their educational purposes. Or maybe if they are living in a place where there are so many people who are living below poverty, who are just having problems related to starvation, they can provide them food. So the biggest thing about these type of companies is that they are able to take big actions because the fund received by them is also really huge. Do you think people nowadays should participate more in volunteering? I think it's like, if I compare now with the past, so I definitely believe that people should be taking part in volunteering experience as much as possible. I think we are living in a society now where we need to help each other. We should be respecting each other. And if with the grace of God we have achieved something great, now it's our responsibility, it's our moral responsibility to help others raise their standard. I definitely believe that everyone should be taking part in volunteering experience more than the past. How do modern technologies assist volunteers and volunteering experience? I think now the world has become really connected, and we are able to find those people who are in the need of help. With the help of modern technologies like smartphones and stuff like internet, we are able to find people who are in the need of help. And also sometimes we are unable to help others, but we know that this person needs help. We can just share their experience, share their condition on different social media networking platforms, and there are so many people who find them and they eventually help them. So this is the biggest benefit. It's not like that we need to just go out and search for people who need. We can just easily locate that what type of people are looking forward to help and what type of help they specifically need. And I definitely think that technology has really improved. Technology has really improved the way we used to approach volunteer, and now we are just approaching it in a very pragmatic way. We are able to do it at a much faster speed. Now moving to fifth cue card. Describe a program or application in your computer or phone. Which phone application is the most popular in your country? It's really hard to say. There are so many applications that are really ubiquitous in India, and they are really used by a wider range of audience. But still, for presentation purposes, I would say that there is a tie between WhatsApp and Instagram. These are the applications that people install. If someone buys a new mobile phone, these are the two applications that people install on primary basis. So I would say that these are the two applications that are the most popular ones, and there is a tie between these two. Do you think the parents should limit the time their children spend on the phone? Definitely they should be doing this because children are not mature enough. They don't know. The reason is that applications can be quite addictive and children can easily, okay, make sure to use the word easily. Children can easily waste majority of their time while using these type of applications. It's the parents' responsibility to monitor the activities performed by them, so they should definitely be limiting it. Do you think people depend on phone applications too much? Well, definitely it is again going on. So rather than saying definitely, I would say yes, I'm in favor of this, I'm positive about it, I'm definitely positive about it. You can say that people do rely, okay, you can also use do or does. People do rely on applications. Even if I talk about myself and about people in my circle, there are so many applications. Without them, people would not even start their day. Their day starts with a certain type of application, and some days I'm unable to use some of the application that I use on a regular basis. I just feel like that there is something that I'm missing. So this is the kind of feeling that we have developed by using these type of applications. Do you think some applications will help people to study? So many applications are currently centered specifically on education. If a person is really willing to attain education or want to acquire information about any certain field, I think this is the golden era in which we are living. We don't need to look for a particular teacher. We can just install an application and we have the access to some of the world-class teachers and professionals, and we can easily talk with them. We can just take guidance from them. So definitely applications have changed the way we get education. What kind of application do you have on your phone? I have almost all type of applications. For example, I have a browser that I use for almost all type of purposes. I have entertainment related applications like video games and some applications that are related to entertainment, like sometimes I like to watch movies. I just have applications related to that, and some applications are related to education because I really love to acquire information as much as possible. News related applications, so you name it, I have just almost every type of application in my mobile phone. What are the drawbacks of having too many applications on your phone? The biggest drawback is that when there are so many applications installed in our mobile phone, we just want to use all of them. And even if we are not willing to use all these applications, still we get so many notifications and we just get curious that what type of notification is that, and we just end up opening that application. Even if we spend 1 or 2 minutes on that application, we are still wasting a lot of our time. Other than that, it can just lead to poor performance for our mobile phone or for our computer, because having too many applications means that there's a lot of space that has been covered by these type of applications. So performance issues also would just waste a lot of our time. How much time do you spend on these applications? So it is a very subjective question, so answer will also be subjective. You can say that if you are a student, you can say that I have to study through online applications, and at that time I usually spend like 7 to 8 hours every day. And if you are just a normal user, you can say that there is not any certain time period that I spend. So sometimes maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, sometimes even 6, 7 hours. So it really depends upon the day that what I'm using these applications for. Do you use free applications or the ones that you need to pay for? Well, again, I have a mixed answer for that. There are so many applications that are free. Sometimes, but majority of the time I use free applications. I'm not really willing to pay for some of the applications that are charging a very high amount of money. But still, if I think that this is going to change my life, this would help me to become a better version of myself, or it would just add value in my life in general, then I would be willing to pay. But other than that, I'm not really willing to pay for any sort of application. So this is the end of this video. If you want to buy my PDF, you can buy it. It contains only cue cards with the most detailed answers. You would be so surprised at how much you can improve by using my PDF. But also, again, I'm going to mention again, follow-ups will totally be free. My PDF does not contain follow-ups, but I will make videos on follow-ups. I will cover first 30 cue cards. So make sure to subscribe so that you can learn all these follow-ups, and make sure to watch this video twice or thrice if possible so that you can totally understand it. So I hope this video was helpful to all of you.